Immediately, I'm getting notes of corrugated aluminum siding, damp dog bed, death of a once great beer. And welcome to the frozen tundra of the beer garden in front of the Grand Fig and the fireless pit. And maybe we should fire up the fireless pit. Are we? All right, let's get right into it because it is absolutely freezing here up this round today. Newcastle Brown Ale, clocking in at 95.3% water. This is in one of them 11.2 full Oz bottles. It says drink cold. That's why we are doing this today, because right now it is 33 degrees with a wind chill of 16. It was in the 70s yesterday. So, hey, what a better day to come out here to the beer garden and drink a beer. Why not? Now, I'm kind of excited about this because I used to love Newcastle back in the day, and then they started brewing it in the USA, and it tasted like arse. And then I just recently discovered that they're now brewing Newcastle back in the UK. They're not brewing it in Newcastle, but they're brewing it in Tadcaster. So, hey, if you're here because you like beer, and let's be honest, why else would you be here unless you just like to see me standing around in the snow flurries drinking beer? Tell me what town and state or town and country you are viewing from, and please tap that subscribe button down below because I have low self-esteem and approval from strangers like yourself on the internet. Makes me feel better about myself. And I thank you for your super thanks as well. Super thanks looks just like this. You can see that down below. It's like a tip jar. $1, $2 if you find this video mildly entertaining or informational, educational by any means. Please donate to that tip jar, that super thanks. We turn that money back into more beer and gear for this channel. If you don't see the super thanks heart, look for the 3 dots. Tap that, and you may be able to see it then. So I want to give a shout out to our viewers all around the world. I made a note on the back of my Beer Snob's Cheap Brew Review coaster set, San Diego, California, where it's a heck of a lot warmer than it is here right now. Grafton, West Virginia, Wakefield, Massachusetts, and Vik, Iceland, where I spent an afternoon at Vik, Iceland. That's in the south central part of Iceland, down on the southern coast. It's a tiny little town is Vik, Iceland. Adorable. The people are lovely there in Vik. All right, let's get back to the brew, shall we? We'll be drinking it out of the red label, sold out, a Beer Snob's Cheap Brew Review pint glass. One of the things I didn't like about Newcastle being brewed in the USA, it said that it had in the ingredients, I'm one of them guys who read the ingredients, it said caramel coloring, and that totally turned me off. I do not see that here. I've never been to England, but this is brewed in Tadcaster, so I Googled it. Tadcaster is just south of Newcastle. And if you are British, tell me exactly how far, because even though I did Google it, I was too lazy to find out how far south Tadcaster is from Newcastle. But it's a heck of a lot closer than it was when they brewed it here in the U.S. All right, let's go ahead and pop the top, see what we got on this 33-degree day. Again, the temperature is dropping with that wind chill. It's coming in right around 14, 15, 16 degrees. All right, I'm going to be rating Newcastle Brown Ale out of 5 stars. How good a brew is it? Not exactly. It's not really that expensive for a proper English brew. $8.99 for a 6-pack. There you go. All right, time for the nose, shall we? The nose is the sun is coming out briefly here, just toying with us. We get snow flurries and we get a little bit of sun. Drink cold, it says. All right, time for the nose. Immediately, I'm getting notes of corrugated aluminum siding, damp dog bed, death of a once great beer. I don't know about that, but it is sort of sweet, as the original Newcastle was, a sweet smell. When it was brewed in the U.S., it didn't have that honest sweetness brew to it, or smell, odor. aroma to it. So besides my fingers being totally numb right now, it's time for the liquid to hit the lips. Please tell me what town and state or town and country you are viewing from. Let me know what you're drinking also while you're watching this brew review. Thank you for that super thanks as well. $25, our biggest amount donated via super thanks to this channel. All right, time for the freezing lips to stick to the glass and time for the liquid to hit those frozen lips. Cheers. The sun. Ouch. Drink cold we shall. And we are. We're just following the directions on the bottle. Drink cold. If you're new to beer drinking, look at the lacing. Lacing is the foam that sticks to the inside of the glass. It usually, people say, myself included, is indicative of some sort of quality in the brewing process, quality of the ingredients. I'm absolutely shivering, freezing right now, especially since I just downed that ice cold Newcastle. They're telling me now it's down to 12 degrees. The wind chill's down to 12. Fantastic. Only 5 more Newcastle to go. A very nutty, caramely, but not artificially. It is a very nutty, robust, I don't want to say quite coffee-like. Cold weather like this, I love, hold up the bottle. Great, my hands are freezing. I love a brown ale, darker beers in cold weather like this. It just goes well, I think. And if you're going shopping for this, be sure you look for where it says imported from England on it. Check on the back. Make sure that it's not any of the leftover brews that were brewed in the United States, which was part of Heineken, and I believe it still is part of Heineken. And I don't know why they're brewing this. Well, Heineken owns the brewery in Tadcaster, was the John Smith Brewery. There goes the sun. And they're the ones brewing it. It's a Heineken product. A nuttiness. If I'm going to compare this to anything here in the States, I'm a big fan of Abita Brewing, and they have a fall pecan brew that's very similar to this. It's a brown ale. Very similar. You get that nuttiness in it, almost like a roasted nut. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, perhaps. But it is a good mouthfeel. It's not heavy. And, you know, you can go all day on this with that 4.7%. And still function like a responsible member of society. And like I said, it's been a while since I've had Newcastle because the American brew of it just sucked. Let me be honest, it sucked. And so I stayed away from it. And just so happened to pick it up. I did a double take. I was like, imported from England. Are you kidding me? Is this the same old stuff that I used to really like? And I have to say, yes, it is. Town and state, town and country where you are viewing from. Thank you for that super thanks. Tap that super thanks. $1, $2, whatever you think is appropriate. Just jump right into it. Out of 5 stars, it's back, baby. Newcastle is back in the UK where it should be brewed. Here we go. More snow coming. Look at that. On cue. Beautiful. Oof. There's just something about drinking beer outdoors when it's snowing. All right. So out of 5 stars, I'm going to put you on the 4 shelf. Like I said, Newcastle's back, baby. I'm going to put you at a 4.39 out of 5 stars. Beautiful. There you go. It's back and definitely well worth the $8.99 a 6-pack. It being a proper English brew, tastes good. Tastes great. It goes great in weather like this, where you can't feel your fingertips. Please check out some more of my brew reviews here. And it's a beautiful day in front of the Grand Fig and the fireless pit to drink beer. You grab yourself a brew and you drink that brew. Cheers.